Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I am very happy you are here with me today. In this episode, I want to share something that can really change your life. Not just your English, but your whole way of living. Many people think success comes only from setting big goals. They write down their dreams. They feel excited. But then, after some time, nothing really happens. The paper has goals written on it, but daily life takes over. And those goals stay only as words. I have been there too. I used to make long lists of big goals. I felt strong motivation at first, but after a few days or weeks, I stopped. The excitement disappeared. Then I felt disappointed, and I thought maybe I was not strong enough. But later, I learned something very important. Goals are good, but systems are better. Let me explain. Goals give you direction. They tell you where you want to go. But systems are the steps you take every day. Systems are small daily actions that slowly build progress. A goal is like a map, but a system is like walking every single day on that map. If you only look at the map, you never reach the destination. But if you walk a little bit every day, you arrive. So in today's episode, I want to talk about how to build systems that really change your life. And don't worry, this is not complicated. These are simple ideas, but if you follow them, they can completely change your future. Let us start with the first idea. Your identity shapes your habits. This means the way you see yourself decides how you act. I will give you an example. I once wanted to learn Spanish. My goal was, I want to speak fluent Spanish. But deep inside, I still thought of myself as someone who was not good at languages. So guess what? I barely practiced. My actions did not match my goal because my identity was wrong. The big change happened when I stopped waiting to become a Spanish speaker and just acted like one. I told myself, I am a Spanish learner. I am someone who studies languages. When I accepted this new identity, my actions started to change. I practiced more, I listened more, and slowly I improved. So my advice to you, especially as English learners, is this. Don't say, I'm trying to learn English. Instead say, I am an English speaker in progress. When you start to see yourself as a person who speaks English, even if it is not perfect yet, your mind begins to act like it. You practice more, you try more, and slowly, you become what you already believe you are. It is like wearing new shoes. At first they feel a little strange, but the more you walk in them, the more natural they feel. In the same way, the more you act like an English speaker, the more natural it becomes until one day, it feels completely normal. Now let us move to the next idea. Start small. And I mean very small. Many people fail because they start too big. For example, they say, I will study English for 2 hours every day. That sounds great. But after 1 or 2 days, life gets busy and they stop. Then they feel guilty and quit. The secret is not to start big, but to start tiny. I once tried this with Spanish. I promised myself to read only 1 sentence every night before bed. Just one. Of course, when I opened the book, I often read more, maybe 1 page or even 10 pages. But the promise was small, just 1 sentence. Because it was so easy, I had no excuse. I could always do it. And from that one small action, a bigger habit started to grow. Think of it like a small snowball rolling down a hill. At the top, it is very small, but as it rolls down, it gets bigger and bigger until it becomes an avalanche. That is how habits grow. So if you want to improve your English, start small. Read 1 sentence. Write 1 word. Listen for 1 minute. Do something so easy that your brain cannot say no. Now let's talk about cues. Cues are small signals in your daily life that tell you to do something. You may not even notice them, but they control many of your habits. For example, every time I made coffee in the morning, I used to check my phone. It became automatic. The coffee was the cue, and the action was checking my phone. One day I decided to change it. Instead of picking up my phone, I picked up my English notebook. While the coffee was brewing, I wrote 1 or 2 sentences in English. That small change turned a useless habit into a useful one. You can do the same. Connect English practice with something you already do. For example, when you brush your teeth, you can listen to an English podcast. When you eat breakfast, you can read 1 English sentence. If you always check your phone in the morning, you can put a message on your lock screen that says, "Say 3 things in English." These cues remind you to practice without stress. Another powerful idea is your environment. Your environment can be your best friend or your biggest enemy when building habits. I once bought a nice journal for writing notes, but I kept it in a drawer. I never used it because it was out of sight. When I finally put it on my nightstand with a pen on top, I started writing every evening. It became automatic. So here is the lesson. Do not depend only on motivation. Change your environment to make good habits easier. If you want to listen to English, keep your headphones next to your toothbrush. That way, every time you see the toothbrush, you remember to put on the headphones. If you want to read more, leave the book open on your table. If you want to practice speaking, put sticky notes on your mirror with simple questions like, "What did I learn today?" Or, "How do I feel right now?" When your environment gives you small reminders, English becomes part of your life. And now, let us talk about tracking. Tracking is when you mark your progress in some way. Many people think tracking is about pressure, but really, it is about motivation. When you see your progress, you feel encouraged to continue. For example, I once put a calendar on my wall. Every time I practiced English for 10 minutes, I made a small tick mark on the calendar. After 1 week, I looked at it and thought, wow, I don't want to break this chain. That simple calendar gave me the push to continue. Tracking does not have to be complicated. You can use a notebook, a sticky note, or even a simple app. The important thing is to see your progress with your eyes. Progress makes you feel good, and feeling good makes you continue. We already talked about identity. Starting small, using cues, shaping your environment, and tracking your progress. These are the building blocks of strong systems. But there are still more important ideas that can help you stay on track and keep growing every day. The next big idea is willpower. Many people believe they need more willpower to succeed. They think, if I were stronger, I could study English every day. If I had more discipline, I would never skip. But the truth is, willpower is not unlimited. It is like the battery in your phone. In the morning, it is full. But every decision you make during the day slowly uses that energy. By evening, your willpower is almost empty. So if you depend only on willpower, you will always struggle. The better way is to prepare in advance, so you don't need to make so many decisions. For example, when I record a podcast, I prepare everything the night before. I set up my microphone, my notes, even the lights. That way, in the morning, I don't need to think. I just sit down and start. You can do the same with English. If you want to practice reading, put the book on your table the night before. If you want to listen to something, prepare your headphones and open the podcast app before you go to bed. Then, in the morning, you don't have to use willpower to decide. You just follow the plan you already made. Systems do not ask you to be perfect. They only ask you to prepare. And when you prepare, you win, even on the hard days. Now let's talk about something most people forget. Celebration. Many of us do not celebrate our small wins. Instead, we move on quickly. Or worse, we criticize ourselves for not doing enough. But celebrating small wins is very powerful. When I first started recording podcasts, I used to tell myself, "Good job," after every recording. Even if it was short. It felt silly at first, but it slowly changed the way I saw myself. I no longer thought, I am trying to be a podcaster. I thought, I am a podcaster. That small celebration gave me confidence. You can use this same idea for English. After you read one page, or after you listen for 5 minutes, smile and say, "I am proud of myself." You can even give yourself a small high five in the mirror. It may feel funny, but it works. Your brain starts to believe that learning English is something good and rewarding. And when you feel good, you continue. So remember this, every small win counts. A 5-minute practice is better than 0. A short conversation is better than silence. Every effort is a step forward. Celebrate it. Now let us zoom out a little. Systems are amazing, but they are even more powerful when they connect to a bigger vision. What do I mean by vision? I don't mean a perfect 10-year plan. I mean a direction, a purpose, a reason why you want to do something. When I decided to improve my English years ago, it was not just because I wanted better grammar. My real reason was connection. I wanted to talk to people from around the world. I wanted to understand movies, books, and cultures. That deeper reason gave me the strength to continue even when learning felt slow or difficult. So here is my advice to you. Ask yourself, why do I want to learn English? Maybe your answer is for a job, or for a test, or for travel. But dig deeper. Maybe the real reason is that you want to feel more confident. Maybe you want to make new friends. Maybe you want to grow as a person. Write this reason down and keep it somewhere you can see every day. When things get hard, your vision will remind you why you started. Goals can motivate you for a short time, but vision motivates you for the long journey. Let's also talk about another important thing, consistency. Many people believe that big effort once in a while is the key to success. But actually, small consistent effort is much stronger. Think of water. One drop of water does not seem like much. But when drops fall every day on the same stone, the stone slowly changes shape. That is the power of consistency. If you practice English only once in a while, it will always feel hard. But if you practice a little every day, even just 10 minutes, your progress will surprise you. Consistency builds confidence, and confidence builds ability. And remember, consistency does not mean perfection. Missing one day is not a failure. The key is to come back the next day and continue. Here's another thing I learned. Systems are not about motivation. Motivation is nice, but it comes and goes. Some days you feel strong, other days you feel lazy. Systems do not care about your mood. They are small daily actions you do, no matter how you feel. That is why systems work better than goals. Now, let's do something practical. I want you to imagine building your own English system. Step 1, identity. Call yourself an English speaker in progress. Step 2, start small. Read one sentence or listen for 1 minute. Step 3, use cues. Connect English practice to something you already do. Step 4, change your environment. Put books, notes, or headphones where you can see them. Step 5, track your progress. Make a calendar, notebook, or app. Step 6, celebrate every small win. Step 7, connect everything to your vision, your deeper reason for learning. If you follow these steps, you will not only improve your English, but also build a strong habit that can change your life. I also want to remind you that systems work for everything, not just English. If you want to exercise, read more, start a new skill, or improve your health, systems are the way. The same rules apply. Start small, use cues, prepare your environment, track progress, celebrate, and stay connected to your vision. Here's a small story. One of my friends wanted to run a marathon. At first, he could not even run 1 kilometer. If he made a goal like run a marathon next month, he would fail. But instead, he created a system. Every day he put on his running shoes after work. Some days he only walked, some days he ran a little. Slowly he added more distance. After 1 year he finished a marathon. He told me it was not about the goal. It was about the system of putting on his shoes every day. That is the same with English. Do not wait for the perfect day to practice. Do not wait for the big motivation. Just do something small every day. Over time, those small actions become something very big. And here's one last tip before we end this part. Be patient with yourself. Progress is not always fast. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel weak. Some days you will understand a lot. Other days you will feel lost. That is normal. It happens to everyone. The secret is not to give up. Remember, learning a language is not a race. It is a journey. And every step you take, even a small one, takes you forward. So my friends, in this part we have learned about willpower. Preparation, celebration, vision. Consistency and patience. Together with the first part, you now have a full picture of how systems can guide your life and your English learning. We are now in the final part of this episode, and I want to give you even more ideas on how you can make systems a natural part of your life. Remember, this is not only about English. These lessons can help you in every part of your life, your studies, your health, your work, and even your relationships. Let's begin with the powerful truth. Small actions build big results. Many people wait for the big day to start. They think, I will start learning on Monday, or I will begin on the 1st of next month. But the truth is, the best time to start is always now. Even if you only do one small thing today, it is better than waiting for tomorrow. Think of a tree. If you plant a seed today, you may not see a tree tomorrow. But if you water it every day, little by little, one day you will sit under its shade. English is the same. You may not feel fluent after 1 week, but if you practice regularly, one day you will surprise yourself with how much you understand and how well you can speak. Now let's talk about one more habit tool. Reflection. Reflection means looking back at what you did, thinking about it, and learning from it. Without reflection, you may repeat the same mistakes again and again. But when you reflect, you can adjust your system and make it even stronger. For example, every Sunday evening, I sit down for 10 minutes and ask myself a few questions. What did I do well this week? What was difficult for me? What can I do differently next week? You can do the same with English. Maybe you realize you read every day, but you did not practice speaking. Or maybe you practiced speaking, but you did not write. When you see this, you can make a small change for the next week. Reflection is like cleaning a mirror. You see yourself more clearly and can improve faster. Now let's connect this to another big idea. Self-kindness. Many learners are too hard on themselves. They think, I am not good at English. I make too many mistakes. I am too slow. But here's the truth. Everyone makes mistakes. And mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. If you are not making mistakes, it means you are not learning anything new. So please be kind to yourself. When you make a mistake, don't say I failed. Say, I learned something. Change the way you talk to yourself, and you will feel more confident. And remember to celebrate the progress you make, no matter how small. Here's another key point. Community. Learning alone is possible, but learning with others is faster and more fun. If you have friends who also want to learn English, practice together. If you don't have friends around you, you can still join online groups, listen to podcasts, or comment on YouTube videos in English. Sharing your journey with others gives you support and motivation. One of the best things I did when I was learning was joining a small language group. We met once a week. And even though we all made mistakes, we encouraged each other. That feeling of, we are in this together, gave me so much energy to keep going. Now let's think about obstacles. Life is not always easy. Sometimes you are busy. Sometimes you feel tired. Sometimes you feel stuck. The question is not, will obstacles come? The question is, how will you deal with them? Here's one strategy. Plan for the obstacles before they come. For example, if you know that weekends are busy for you, plan to do just one small English action on weekends, like listening for 5 minutes. That way, you don't break your habit completely. Or if you know that you feel tired after work, maybe study in the morning before your day starts. Systems are flexible. You can always adjust them to fit your life. Another idea that helps is linking habits together. For example, if you want to learn English vocabulary, link it with brushing your teeth. After you brush your teeth, say one new English word. If you want to practice listening, link it with washing the dishes. While you wash, play an English podcast. Linking habits makes it easy to remember, because the old habit reminds you of the new one. Now let's talk about one of the most common problems, losing motivation. Many learners say, I feel excited at first, but after some time, I lose motivation. If this happens to you, don't worry, it happens to everyone. The secret is to focus on systems, not motivation. Motivation is like the wind, sometimes strong, sometimes weak. But systems are like the engine of a ship. They keep moving, even when the wind stops. So, when motivation is low, return to your system. Do the small action, even if you don't feel like it. Tell yourself, I will just do 1 minute. Most of the time, when you start, you will continue longer. And even if you don't, that 1 minute is still progress. Here's something else that works. Use rewards. For example, after you finish your study, allow yourself to enjoy something you like. Maybe a piece of chocolate, a short walk, or a favorite song. Rewards make the habit feel good, and your brain will want to repeat it. Let's move to something bigger. Long-term vision. We talked earlier about asking yourself why you want to learn English. Now I want you to imagine your future self. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You are sitting with people from another country, and you are speaking English with confidence. Imagine yourself traveling, ordering food, and talking to locals without fear. Imagine yourself reading books, watching movies, or working in English. Can you see that picture in your mind? That is your future self. And every small step you take today is moving you closer to that picture. Keep that vision alive in your mind, because it will help you on days when learning feels hard. Before we finish, I want to remind you of the main lessons. Don't only set goals, build systems. Identity shapes habits. Call yourself an English speaker in progress. Start very small. 1 sentence, 1 word, 1 minute. Use cues to remind you. Shape your environment to help you. Track your progress so you can see it. Celebrate every small win. Connect to your deeper reason, your vision. Be consistent. Small daily steps are more powerful than big, rare efforts. Prepare for obstacles. Adjust your system when life is hard. Be kind to yourself. Mistakes are part of learning. Reflect every week. Learn from your actions. Use community. Share your journey with others. Use rewards to make habits enjoyable. Keep your vision alive. See your future self and walk toward it every day. If you remember these ideas and practice them, you will not only improve your English, but also change the way you live your life. Because the truth is, systems are not about being perfect. Systems are about showing up again and again in small ways. And small ways, over time, create big changes. So, my friends, as we close this episode, I want you to do something simple. Take one idea from today and use it right now. Maybe you will write 1 word. Maybe you will listen for 1 minute. Maybe you will put a notebook on your table. Start small, but start today. Your future self will thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep practicing, keep building your systems, and keep moving forward. Remember, the big results will come from the small steps you take every single day. Until next time, take care, keep learning, and never stop growing.